What's up YouTube? Welcome back to the channel King's TCG, and today I'm coming at you with an amazing deck profile. I'm talking about the Mathmech archetype today, so we have a Mathmech deck profile. And Mathmechs are really fun to play and really strong as well. I've tried to make this deck as competitive as possible, and I think we did a really great job. It's a really strong deck. Mathmechs are insane in doing OTKs, for example, because of Final Sigma. They're also really good at making an end board and then go into turn 2, turn 3, turn 4. It's not, let's say, a deck that has one end board, and if something happens with that end board, then it's game over. It's not like that, because they are really good in recovery plays and just bring back the monsters you've already used. And it's just an amazing deck with a lot of options. Really fun to play. So yeah, let's dive straight into the deck profile. Really excited to show you guys this deck. The main deck has 42 cards, so let's begin. We start off with 3 copies of Balancelot. Balancelot is by far the best starter in the deck. If you start off with Balancelot and any Mathmech card, any Mathmech monster in your hand, it's just full combo, and there can't be going anything wrong really. Balancelot, if it's normal summon, you can activate this effect to pay 1000 life points and normal summon again, which really helps to get you into your combo plays. Then we have 3 copies of Nebula. Have to play this card because it can pop 1 card on your side of the field. So for example, it can make the extra monster zone free for summon Sigma in it, or it can just special, if it pops a monster, it can special summon another Mathmech. So it can give you the card that you need for your combos. It's absolutely amazing. There we have 3 copies of Diameter. If this card is normal summoned, it can special summon 1 Mathmech from the grave, which is absolutely insane. And then of course, these cards can't miss. 3 copies of Subtraction, and also 3 copies of Addition. Mathmech Addition and Mathmech Subtraction, they can special summon themselves, because of Mathmech Addition can give a monster on the field 1000 life points and then a special summon itself, but Subtraction can take 1000 attack points from a monster away. And there can also be a monster on your opponent's side of the field. So, for example, your opponent has Ultimate Conductor or something like that with 3500 attack points. You can special summon him and make it 2500, which, yeah, this card can really make the difference to go over a big boy, a big beast on the field. And it's a free special summon, so absolutely amazing. We also play 3 copies of Mathmech Sigma. It can just bring himself out if there's no monster in the extra monster zone. And to end off with the Mathmech monsters, we play 1 Mathmech Multiplication. This card is insane because it can make 1 card on the field a level 8, which makes it a lot easier to go into your high level synchros. So absolutely insane. And Nebula plus Nebula plus Multiplication really helps you go into your OTK plays. Because if you go first or second, but these cards are better going second, because if you make Final Sigma, which is in the extra deck, or whatever monster you make in the extra monster zone using these 2 cards, with Nebula you can target the card in the extra monster zone and it can attack on 2 monsters that same turn. And Multiplication gives it a double attack point bonus, so it doubles the attack points of the monster in the extra monster zone, which really helps you doing OTKs. Especially with Final Sigma, this card's in the extra deck, because Final Sigma can, when Final Sigma attacks, the attack damage is doubled. So it's absolutely insane to go into your OTKs. And as you guys could see, there are a lot of special summon possibilities. So that's absolutely really powerful in the current meta game, so you don't brick. and you don't end with an end bot you don't like. Then we play 3 copies of Parallel Exceed. Absolutely amazing in this deck because you have a lot of link summons. Then for the hand traps, we play 3 copies of Effect Veiler. We play 3 copies of Ash Blossom, still one of the best and most powerful hand traps in the game. And then I've decided, when I go second, to play Psy Framegate Gamma, because it's just absolutely powerful. It doesn't only negate the attack, but it also destroys the monster. And that's something that Veiler and Ash Blossom don't. But Gamma does it, and it's absolutely amazing. The only thing you won't have with Gamma, that's a bit of a risk, is if you have Psy Frame Driver in your hand. But that's the only thing. But of course, every hand trap is all to personal preferences. If you just like to play another hand trap because you have your reasons for it, then be my guest and play them. But these are the traps, hand traps I've chosen. Then we go into the spells. We play 2 copies of Cosmic Cyclone, just for back row removal. We play 2 copies of Cyanide Mining. Absolutely amazing. If you need a combo piece in your hand, you can get it with Cyanide Mining. We have 1 Foolish Burial and 1 Call by the Grave. So these cards are well known, don't need a lot of introduction. And then we go on to the traps. I play 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. They are absolutely amazing. You can use them from your hand, but you can also, if you control no monsters or nothing on the field, of course. But it's also really strong if you set it and your opponent activates a card in the same column. You also immediately take out their back row in that column. So Infinite Impermanence is a really strong card in this current meta game. And it really can help you out of a lot of situations. So really recommend playing 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. And of course, Mathmech Super Factorial. And Mathmech Super Factorial is one of the big reasons why the Mathmech archetype is so extremely strong. Because there aren't a lot of archetypes which have such a extremely strong trap card. I will read it for you. Target up to 3 Mathmech monsters in your graveyard with different names, then activate one of these effects. And you almost have every time 3 or more Mathmech monsters in the grave because you combo such a lot. Special summon them, but their effects are negated. Then immediately after this monster, after this effect, resolve, synchro summon 1 Mathmech synchro monster using only those monsters and shuffle the materials into the deck instead of sending them to the grave. Or special summon them, but their effects are negated, then immediately after this effect resolve, Xyz summon 1 Mathmech Xyz monster using only those materials. Can only activate 1 Mathmech Super Factorial per turn. So this card, what this card does is target up 2 or 3 Mathmech monsters, special summon them, and immediately on your opponent's turn, go into your high Xyz monster or synchro monsters. So you summon a big beast, a big beatstick on your opponent's turn. And it's up to which monster you summon, but that can really help out because I will show you guys it now in the extra deck because this was the main deck, and now at the extra deck it will make the effect of Mathmech Super Factorial even more obvious. Let's see. Alright. Now we go on to the extra deck. We play only 1 synchro, and that is Geo Mathmech Final Sigma. This was the card I was talking about the whole time. This card is absolutely amazing because it is unaffected by card effects while it is in the extra monster zone. So with the help of Nebula, you can tribute a monster in the extra monster zone. So you can make that extra monster zone free to put in Final Sigma. So that can really helps out. Because Final Sigma in the extra monster zone is absolutely so hard to beat. Sometimes I just ended with only Final Sigma in the extra monster zone and my opponent just couldn't get rid of it. Because if you can't, your opponent can't bring out a beat stick higher than 3k, it's absolutely almost unbeatable because it's unaffected by every card effect. And when it's summoned, it can attack twice on monsters. And you always will summon this card with Nebula and Multiplication. While it has double attack points, it can attack twice, and the attack damage is, or I mean the battle damage is doubled. So it's absolutely amazing. This card is so good for OTKs. Then we play for the Xyz, 1 Prime Attack Laplacian and 2 copies of Prime Attack Alambertian. And you always want to make Alambertian because you can make this with 2 level 4 monsters, and in this deck that's so easy. It will always, you will always can do that. Then you can detach 2 cards to add 1 card from the deck to the hand, and you always add to your from your deck to your hand Mathmech Superfactorial. That's the first card you want to get to your hand. Because when you've done your combos and there are 3 Mathmechs in the grave, which certainly always will happen, then you set this card and with the particular ambot you have in that situation. And what you do next is let go your opponent. Let's make him play. And if he summons a big monster, he has 1 or 2 back row cards and he has some card in his hand. You just have to get a little bit of a feeling when you should activate this card. But if you found the right moment, you activate this card, special summon 3 Mathmechs, go into Mathmech Laplacian, and then that's absolutely ridiculous what will happen next. Because when you summon Laplacian on your opponent's turn, you can immediately activate this effect. Detach 3 cards, and then you can send 1 random card from your opponent's hand to the graveyard. Amazing. Second, you can send 1 monster your opponent controls to the graveyard. And to end off with, send 1 spell / trap your opponent controls to the graveyard. So on your opponent's turn, you can get rid of 1 of his spells or traps, 1 of his monsters, and a card out of his hand. So that's so ridiculously good to be able to do that on your opponent's turn with Prime Attack Laplacian. If your opponent, for example, hasn't any back row, you can also decide to detach 2 materials and activate 2 of these 3 effects. But you are able to activate all 3. And that's so ridiculous. And that's why Mathmech Superfactorial is such an amazing card. Absolutely sick. Then we go into the links. Of course, we have the combo with Link Disciple, Link Devotee. Disciple helps you to draw 1, discard 1. So it gets rid of any cards you don't need. And Devotee let you summon 2 tokens. Then we have Cyber's Wicked. And Wicked is also one of the best cards out of the deck. Because this link summoned card cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. So it's so hard to get rid of this card. And the best thing, Cyber monster this cost points to cannot be destroyed by card effects. So this really helps you against so many cards like Destroyer here, like DPE. DPE can't do anything about this card, and there are a lot more cards that Cyber's Wicked is just unaffected of because of its amazing effect. Then we have Masquerena, absolutely sick. And then we go into the higher links. We first start off with Splash Mage, and Splash Mage is absolutely amazing to go into the Transcode Talker and into eventually Access Code Talker. So these cards are all meant to go into Access Code. First Splash Mage, then Transcode Talker, then Access Code Talker. That's absolutely amazing. And because if we play a lot of Link monsters in this deck, you have always enough materials for Access Code Talker to banish from the grave. So absolutely really strong. Access Code Talker is so perfect for this deck. And it wins just a lot of matches. It's absolutely amazing. Of course, we can't forget Lingeribo and Link Spider. What you do with these cards is, if you have Cyber's Wicked on the field and one token, because that's always the thing that happens, because you always have 2 monsters on the field. That's pretty easy. Then you go into Disciple. The other one is for Devotee. Then you activate Disciples, its effect. Tribute the Devotee, send it to the grave, and then Disciples effect activates to add a card from, draw 1 card and then discard 1 card. It's not discard, it's just return it to the bottom of the deck, so that's a different thing. So if you've done that, you can activate Devotee's effect, special summon 2 tokens. If that's done, you go into Token, Disciple, make a Wicked, and then you're always stuck with 1 token. And the thing you do next is use Lingeribo or Link Spider. One of the 2, it doesn't matter which one. I recommend using Link Spider because Lingeribo can be more helpful in follow-up plays. But then you link the token away for Link Spider, which triggers Cyber's Wicked effect to add 1 tuner from deck to hand. And that's absolutely amazing to get access to your Nebula. And that's immediately why Balance Slot is so good. Let's see. Because if Balance Slot was in the graveyard, you have to banish 1 card to get 1 copy of your Nebula, so 1 tuner. But if Balance Slot is banished from the grave, it will automatically activate this effect to special summon. Let's see, it was... if this card is banished, you can special summon 1 level 4 lower monster from the hand. So then you maybe understand the combo. It's absolutely amazing. And that's why also Balance Slot is such a great card. So that was almost it for the extra deck. You have still 1 more monster to go, and that's Underworld Goddess of the Closed World. It's a high link. It's a link 5, but the great thing about this is it needs 4 plus effect monsters. But you can also use 1 monster your opponent controls as material to link summon this card. And this card helps me out a lot. This helps out a lot with in combination with Masquerena, for example. So you can make this card out of Masquerena if you have enough materials on your field. But it can get rid of monsters which have high attacks or just an effect which bothers you. So it can really help out. So yeah, that was it for the extra deck and the main deck. That was it for the deck profile. As I told you, Mathmech are super duper fun to play. They are amazing at OTKs. They are amazing at follow-up plays, recovery plays. Just really strong. I've also a Psy Deck, which I will show you guys very quick. Let's set these aside. I play 1 token collector. I play 3 copies of Nibiru the Primal Being. If I go to a tournament and I see that my opponent plays a heavy combo deck like, let's say for example Heroes, then of course I will play Nibiru the Primal Being, because it's absolutely amazing against those decks. We play 3 copies of Anti-Spell Fragrance. Can really help out a lot. And I always cite this for Pendulum decks. If I play against a Pendulum player and I've Anti-Spell Fragrance, that's just really, really painful for them. I have 2 copies of Evenly Matched. I recommend you guys playing 3 copies of it. I have 3 copies of Lancia. It's just really strong against certain decks like Dinos, for example. And 1 Harpy's Feather Duster for to end off my Psy Deck with. As you see, I've only 12 cards in my Psy Deck. That's because I was waiting for more sleeves, for more red sleeves to put into my Psy Deck. But then you just have a small idea of which cards I use in my Psy Deck. And if you go to tournaments and things like that, Psy decks are just really important to help you win the duels and to help you win the matches. So guys, that was it for this deck profile. Mathmechs are just absolutely fun to play. As I told you, I've tried to make this deck as competitive as possible, and I think we did a really great job. I've really much fun playing this deck, and I really recommend you guys to all just give this deck a try. It's always a lot of fun to me to see people's faces when they meet decks like Mathmech, because I'm sure some of you guys didn't heard of Mathmech at all. Maybe some of you have never heard of Mathmechs, and if you see where Mathmechs are capable of, a deck that's not one of the top tier decks, then yeah, it's just absolutely fun to win tournaments and to win duels with this deck. So guys, I've really enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification button if you want to stay tuned for me for more videos like this. And check out my Instagram page, KingsTCG, Loba Yu-Gi-Oh! Link is in the description down below. And yeah, also let me know in the comments what you think about this deck profile. Are there certain things you would change? Are there cards you would change? Or do you say, hey, if you put that card in, it will work a lot better, a lot smoother? I'm always open for tips and tricks. I'm always open for you guys' opinions. So I'm really looking forward to see your reactions in the comments. For now, thank you all for watching, and as y'all know it, join the gang. Ciao.